A routine day at a neighborhood pharmacy turned dangerous when an armed man allegedly entered carrying a knife and demanded cash and valuables from an employee. Instead of giving in to panic, the employee responded with remarkable courage. She grabbed a sturdy wooden chair and used it as a protective barrier. Faced with unexpected resistance, the would-be robber lost the advantage and fled the pharmacy empty-handed. A tense hostage situation came to a dramatic end after police officers rescued a woman trapped inside a convenience store during an armed robbery standoff. Authorities say the suspect allegedly threatened civilians while holding the woman against her will, creating an immediate danger for everyone inside. Responding officers quickly secured the area and worked to protect nearby civilians as the situation escalated. When the suspect continued to pose a serious threat, a SWAT officer took decisive action, firing through a glass door to stop the armed man and prevent further harm to the hostage. The suspect was wounded, taken to a hospital for treatment, and later placed under arrest. The woman was rescued safely, and no other civilians were injured during the incident. A frightening robbery unfolded in the Gironès neighborhood of Belém when two armed suspects allegedly confronted a man and demanded his belongings. Facing an immediate threat, the victim remained calm and initially complied with their demands, putting his safety first while looking for an opportunity to escape the danger. When one of the suspects became distracted, the victim seized the moment to fight back. A violent confrontation quickly followed, ending in an exchange of gunfire. One of the alleged robbery suspects was fatally wounded, while the second suspect fled the scene and remains the subject of an ongoing police search. Two courageous mothers sprang into action when an alleged bicycle thief targeted their family. Without a moment's hesitation, both women rushed toward the suspect, determined to protect their children and stop the theft. Caught completely off guard by their fearless response, the would-be thief quickly lost the advantage. As the two mothers continued confronting him, the suspect panicked, turned around, and fled the scene, even abandoning his own bicycle in a desperate attempt to escape. A group of pedestrians narrowly avoided becoming victims of an alleged robbery when two motorcycle-riding suspects approached them in Santo André, Brazil. The encounter unfolded in seconds, leaving the victims with little time to react. Before the suspects could carry out the apparent robbery, an unidentified armed citizen stepped in. Acting quickly, he fired several shots in an apparent effort to stop the attack. A group of quick-thinking store employees prevented an alleged robbery after a masked man attempted to force his way into a lottery shop in João Pessoa, Brazil, just before closing time. As the suspect pushed against the entrance, the employees immediately worked together to keep the door shut. Using their combined strength, they held the door firmly from the inside, refusing to let the intruder gain access to the store. Realizing he could not get past the determined workers, the would-be robber abandoned the attempt. He fled the scene on a motorcycle with an alleged accomplice without stealing any money or property. A routine visit to a local store suddenly turned dangerous when an alleged robber stormed inside, but one courageous customer refused to let the robbery unfold without resistance. Remaining calm, the customer waited for the right moment before confronting the suspect, disrupting the entire plan and forcing the would-be robber to abandon the attempt. A routine day at an eyewear store took a frightening turn when a man allegedly entered pretending to be a returning customer. The suspect reportedly pulled what appeared to be a handgun and a knife, demanding cash and several valuable watches. Believing his life was in danger, the employee initially complied with the suspect's demands. But when he realized the firearm was not real, he seized the opportunity to fight back. A brief but violent struggle followed. Although the suspect managed to escape with a small number of items, the employee's courageous response prevented the robber from stealing additional valuables stored inside a backpack. Police have launched an investigation to identify and locate the suspect. A quiet day at a local shop suddenly turned tense when an aggressive man allegedly entered the store and began demanding money while trying to intimidate the owner. The shop owner seized the right moment to fight back, disrupting the attempted robbery and forcing the would-be thief to abandon his plan. A terrifying robbery was brought to a swift end when an off-duty police officer walked into a convenience store in the Los Olivos neighborhood of Piura, Peru, just as an alleged armed robbery was unfolding. Security cameras captured the suspect, reportedly carrying a handgun, threatening a cashier and demanding money from the register. As frightened customers rushed out of the store, employees were left face-to-face with the robber while he gathered the cash. Within moments, the off-duty officer recognized the danger and immediately took control of the situation. Drawing his service weapon, he ordered the suspect to drop his weapon and surrender. Caught completely by surprise, the alleged robber complied, removed his face covering, and lay on the floor without further resistance. After allegedly stealing property, the suspect climbed over a fence and sprinted away, believing he had found a clear path to escape. But people nearby quickly recognized what had happened and moved to block his route. Without hesitation, a woman wearing a white shirt took off after the fleeing suspect. She caught up with him as he desperately tried to get away, giving other bystanders enough time to join the pursuit. Working together, they surrounded the suspect and safely restrained him until police officers arrived to take him into custody. Thanks to the woman's decisive action and the community's teamwork, the suspect was unable to escape and the stolen property was recovered. The incident highlights how alert citizens working together can help bring an alleged offender to justice while supporting law enforcement. A security guard's quick response helped bring a daring burglary to an end after an alleged intruder broke into a clothing store through the roof in Santa Rosa de Viterbo, Brazil. While monitoring surveillance cameras, the guard spotted the suspect moving inside the building and immediately responded to investigate. The confrontation led both men onto the rooftop, where a tense struggle broke out as the guard tried to stop the alleged burglar from escaping with stolen merchandise. A series of surveillance videos has captured the growing challenge of street robberies across São Paulo, Brazil, where suspects allegedly use motorcycles and cars to carry out fast-moving thefts before fleeing the scene. The incidents have raised concerns among residents about public safety and the risks of everyday travel. Many victims were caught by surprise and lost personal belongings during the crimes, while others were left shaken by the frightening encounters. In response, police launched intensified patrols and investigations aimed at identifying those responsible and preventing further offenses. Authorities say multiple alleged robbery suspects have since been located and taken into custody as part of ongoing operations to improve public safety and reduce violent street crime. Their continued efforts reflect a broader commitment to protecting residents and holding offenders accountable. Thanks for watching.